Today we're speedrunning Storyteller, a puzzle game that's really satisfying to go fast in. Now our speedrun starts with us opening up a storybook. It tells us the introduction, what you have to do for this game, and basically what that is the game will give us certain characters or scenes we can put in a storybook, and we have to decide a specific story. Like for this one, we have to make Eve die heartbroken, and then for the next one, we have to make someone see the ghost of their lover, so they'll fall in love, die, and then they'll see that ghost. That's going to be chapter 1, which is obviously some easier puzzles, and now we'll get on to more different characters. For this one, we heal Bernard's heartbreak by getting him with Isabel, and for this next one, we marry together Lenora and Isabel, then Isabel's gonna die, revive, and they'll be able to marry again, so their heart's healed. Next up, we have to make everyone reject Edgar, so first of all, we'll put Lenora and Isabel together. We'll try to get Edgar to date each of them, he's not able to, then we'll kill off Lenora, so Isabel can marry Bernard, and finally, Edgar will also get rejected by Bernard. Following that, our fourth story in the second chapter is we have to have two couples together, but then each one of them is going to lose the person that they love. So we'll finally put the two survivors together, they'll be able to find love again, and we're on to chapter 3, where we got to get Edgar to shock himself by dying, forgetting he died, and then looking in the mirror and being like, wow, I'm actually dead. After that, we got to get someone to get rejected by their own spouse, so we're going to kill off Edgar, and then have his wife marry Isabel, only for him to get revived, and then, yeah, he no longer has a wife. Some really sad stories so far, but this one is a bit better, where Edgar's heart gets broken because Lenora dies, she gets revived, and then her heart gets broken because Edgar died. Finally, she'll die, but then they can reunite in the afterlife, which also gives us the extra little check mark. And we'll finish our third chapter with heartbreak for everybody. We'll put Lenora and Isabel together, that way Edgar gets rejected. We'll kill off Isabel's wife, so she's sad, but she'll find love again with Edgar, only for Lenora to get revived, and finally, she'll get rejected by her old wife. Next up, we're going to have to make Lenora drink poison, so we're going to put Edgar and Bernard together so Edgar can reject her, and then she just drinks poison. Very sad life, but after that we will put Edgar and Lenora together, only for Edgar to see his wife die, so he drinks poison, we revive him, and then he drinks poison a second time. I'm so sorry, Edgar. But now it's going to be even worse for him. He marries Isabel, they get in a fight, so she poisons his wine, he dies, and then she marries Lenora, just so she can remarry. I guess there's no divorce in this world. And then we also have to make her commit another crime because she wants to get with Edgar, but he's married to Lenora, so he poisons her, and for the extra check mark, we'll also make both of them drink poison. Edgar because his wife died, and Isabel because Edgar died. Now we got some new characters with a witch that turns the prince into a frog, so he asks Snowy to kiss him, and they kiss, turning him back into a human. Next, we're gonna have to get the witch to turn both Tiny and Snowy into a frog. Snowy will ask for the prince's help, but then he'll accidentally kiss Tiny, thinking he was Snowy. Then we have the witch asking the mirror who he thinks the most beautiful person is, but he thinks Snowy, so the witch turns Snowy into a frog, transforms back into her old self, and we can get the mirror to agree that she is. But Haiti also wants the admiration of the mirror. He at first says Peachy's the most beautiful, he kills Peachy, but then Peachy's ghost kills him, and finally the mirror says Froggy's the most beautiful. Next, it's time for the butler's rampage, where the butler decides to shoot both the Duke and Duchess. Then we have Duke feels relief, the butler takes the gun, but then he puts it back, so the Duke is relieved. Third, we have the detective arrest the murderer. For this one, we want the butler to shoot the Duke, but then put back the gun, so the detective can see the butler's fingerprints, and finally arrest him. And one fun puzzle is where we have the detective first shoot the Duchess, but then put back the gun. And the Duke has to admire the gun, so the fingerprints change, and the detective sees the Duke's fingerprints and thinks he did the murder instead of the butler. Time for some more new characters with the Knight and the Baron, where they're just rivals. So at first, we're gonna set it up where the Baron's gonna kill the Knight, the Knight's ghost will kill the Baron, they both get revived, and they kill each other again, so it's 4 deaths. After that, we're gonna have the Baron do some kidnapping on the Queen, but the Knight lets her out, and because of that, they get married. Next up, we need everyone to sit on the throne, so first the Queen can, only for the Baron to kill her. After that, the Knight becomes king, the Baron kills him, and finally the Baron's on the throne. Then we have a very interesting one, where we want the Baron to kidnap the Queen, but then he puts on a dragon costume, lets her out, and then she marries him in the dragon costume. A very interesting end to that. And for chapter 8, we're back to the butler. We now have a new scene where someone can witness what's happening in the ballroom, and with that, the detective finds out that the butler killed the Duke. Then we need the Duke to fire the butler, so we'll have him witnessing the butler in the ballroom just with the gun. We'll wait for the butler to put back the gun before he finally does his firing. And next up, it's time for some revenge where the butler takes the gun, The Duchess is gonna witness the butler kill the Duke. The butler puts back the gun, the Duchess takes it, and finally she's gonna murder the butler, which is a much better ending for her than this one, where at the beginning the butler of course takes the gun, and she's gonna witness the butler just in the ballroom with the gun. So after that, she's gonna tell the detective. He's gonna be like, I can't really do anything yet, until the butler kills her, and then the detective is like, okay, I know you were the one who did it. And we also get the extra check mark of doing it while the Duke wasn't home. But we're back to the Baron trying to steal the crown, and this time, along with taking the crown, you can also execute people as long as you have it. So he's gonna execute the queen, and then the knight is gonna want revenge. So the knight will finally kidnap the Duke, he'll take the crown back from him, and then he'll execute the Baron, finally getting his revenge. Next, it's tragedy time for the knight, because unfortunately the queen dies, and he's sad about it, but he takes the crown because he has to. But when the queen gets revived, she wants her vengeance. She does not care what he has to say, and she kills him. He didn't even want your crown. But then we have the Baron kidnap the queen, and then he gives her amnesia, so he's gonna marry her, that way he can be king before executing her. But we do have another thing we have to do. We're just gonna switch both of their roles, that way he gets executed as well. And the last puzzle in this chapter is the queen suffering 4 tragedies. The first one is getting kidnapped, the second one is getting her crown stolen, but then she marries the knight, only for the Baron to kill both her husband and herself, so that's all 4 of the tragedies. Now the game's gonna introduce the king, and for this first one, we want them to fight. They'll both get amnesia, they'll fall in love again, and then again, they'll fight, so it's a toxic love affair. After that, we're gonna have the queen catching the king and the maid in an affair, so she decides to execute the maid, while the king executes the queen to get his revenge. Then we want rags to royalty, where again, the king and the maid are gonna have an affair, which the queen sees, so she kidnaps the maid, only for the king to find the maid, and because of that, he'll execute the queen, and finally marry the maid, so she's royal. Now the Baron's back to stealing the crown, so we'll start out with him murdering the queen, so the king and the maid can get married, then he's gonna murder the king, that way he can get married to the maid, and then finally he's also going to murder the maid. He will absolutely stop at nothing, and that brings us to monsters, where Bernard will turn into a werewolf at a full moon, so he'll fall in love with Juliet, turn into a werewolf, and then kill her. After that, he turns back to human, realize what he did, and so he'll drink some poison. Then we need the queen to arrest the Baron, so first of all, we'll put the Baron in a costume, then he'll go scare the queen, he can put the costume back, the queen can tell the detective about this, so he'll check out the costume, get his fingerprints, and finally arrest him. Next up, we'll set it up where Mina gets a bite from Dracula, but she wants to get rid of her vampire powers, so she asks the professor for help, he tells John to go and stab Dracula, and now Mina is cured. And for some more monster stuff, we have Bernard who's gonna turn into a werewolf, and Baron who's gonna dress as a dragon. They both see each other, they're concerned, so Baron goes, gets a gun from the professor, and shoots Bernard. But we also want the dragon to die, so we'll just switch up a couple of the things, so Bernard gets the weapon, and he can shoot the Baron. Then we have a chapter all about drama, and in this one, we need Haiti to murder his father and marry his mother. So Tiny's gonna be the dad of Haiti, Tiny's gonna marry Peachy, but Haiti wants to marry Peachy, so he's gonna decide to push Tiny off a cliff, finally marry Peachy, and then learn that she's his mother. Now we need Tiny to avenge his brother, so we'll start out with some family, and we're gonna make Tiny and Greenie the sons of Haiti. After that, we can get Greenie and Haiti to get in a fight, so then Haiti pushes his son off a cliff. But we have a seance where Greenie can tell Tiny what happened, so Tiny will finally kill Haiti, getting his revenge for his brother. But then we need Haiti to get murdered by his own daughter, so this is going to start with some family. Haiti is going to be the dad of Peachy, but then he's going to be spying, he's going to see that Peachy and Tiny are in love, but also Tiny and Greenie are having an affair. So Haiti is going to push Tiny off the cliff, Tiny's ghost is going to tell Peachy, and finally Peachy will kill her father, but he was doing it to protect her. And then for this story, we got to get Tiny and Haiti to wait forever, so they'll just chill by the tree, and now it's time for the final chapter. These are all the longest stories, like for this one, where we need to get Edgar and Lenora to get married, but then Isabel wants to marry Edgar, so she's gonna poison the wine of Lenora. Lenora, of course, is gonna die, and then she's free to marry Edgar, but Edgar's gonna do a seance, Lenora's gonna tell him what happened, and he's gonna poison the wine, so Isabel finally dies, and Edgar murders his wife. Next, we gotta make Tiny murder his uncle to avenge his father. So right at the beginning, we're gonna make Bluey the father of both Haiti and Greenie. Then we can also make Greenie the father of Tiny, before having Greenie fall in love with Peachy, and Haiti wants to marry Peachy, so of course, it's time for him to do some killing. We can set up our cliff seance cliff pattern, and then of course Haiti is gonna murder Greenie. Greenie is gonna tell this to Tiny in a seance, and Tiny's gonna get his revenge by murdering Haiti. Yeah, that's one of the most confusing puzzles in the game, but this one makes a bit more sense. The Duke's gonna be spying and seeing that the Duchess and the King are flirting, so he's gonna get a gun. But the Duchess is gonna see him shoot the King, and then the Duke is gonna see that the Duchess is talking to the detective, so before the detective can arrest him, he goes and shoots him too. And for our very last puzzle, we have the queen seeing that the king and the maid are having an affair. So we set up a ton of kidnaps, where first, the queen kidnaps the maid, the king rescues her, the king kidnaps the queen, and the knight rescues her, and then the knight kills the king, and the maid kills the queen, which, now that they're all alone, the knight and the maid get together. So finally, to finish out the speedrun, all we have to do is put the crown on that pedestal, and that's our time, 10:14, which is going to be third place on the leaderboards, and I'll take it. Alright, subscribe if you enjoyed.